Oh, man.
And don't forget the revival. One church have one, then the next week, there it is, the next church.
But we would be in there doing what we do. God don't want,
and he don't need no coward soldiers.
He don't want
no coward soldiers in his band.
We used to be better. Antoinette has clearly forgotten the notes.
Hi, my name is Antoinette, and I'm awesome. Today I am here with my special guest. This is not just my special guest, this is my auntie. She's also one of the strong support that you guys been hearing me talk about. So I would like to welcome Virginia Williams.
Woo woo, and I think she's awesome too.
So today we're going to talk about how family deals with a loved one in addiction. So Auntie, I just want you to talk about what that experience was like for you.
First of all, it was tough. That's the easiest way to say it. To see somebody you love be consumed by a thing, whatever you want to call it, a spirit, if you want to call it just a drug, but everything is connected to some type of spirit. Because first of all, not only is this my niece and I am her friend, but also a spiritual friend too, because during this time of her great recovery, I actually accepted my call. But prior to that, she was just niece. And having grown up with her, I knew that the person I was now seeing was not the person who I knew her to be from childhood. And it made it hard, and we fought a lot. Like, we actually lived together for a good deal of that time, and we fought, and she was always a crackhead. Like, I was like, you crackhead, stay out of my stuff, you crackhead. And she asked me one time not to call her that. But if I called her Antoinette, I felt like I was calling out a lie, because she did not see the depths of which she had allowed this thing to take her. But what I didn't understand is the complete blindness she was operated in. This thing took her identity, it took her personality, it took her love she had for her family. And it was hard for me to understand how those things that she was missing out on didn't even matter to her. So it was hard.
You know, I heard everything she said, and it hurt. And you know, there's sometimes people can say something to you that hurt and make you want to change. And then sometimes people can say something to you and you hear it, and yes, you feel that pain, but it's like it doesn't go in one ear and out of the other. But it was like I couldn't grab a hold to it. And when I say that, guys, don't get me wrong, because just like she said, she's not just my aunt, she's my friend, she's my spiritual sister. Because I want to share this before I go any farther. I missed a great opportunity when my grandmother passed.
And it hurt.
Yes.
It hurt me really, really, really bad. Out of my sisters, this was my closest one. We never ever even talked about it, right? But I felt like when I needed you the most, I went out of my way to make sure you would have what you need, because you said you didn't have, and I went out of my way to make sure that happened. And then when the day came, you weren't there. And it was in that moment, I think I really gave up. I lost something for you. But God, He would not truly let me give up, because I wondered night and day where you were, what was happening. And then you came back around. and you were there, and it was beautiful. And I don't think you really understood why I had to love you toughly. And I loved you very tough because life was tough. Life was hard, and at any moment anybody could take the route that you took to escape, but not all of us chose that way. And the people you left behind had to deal with it as straight as we could. Nobody else could go hide. We couldn't run away from our responsibilities. And I would not ever let you forget the Antoinette that I knew. And I don't care what this thing was saying, what it was doing, and how you were feeling, and how far it thought it had you. I knew the God that we grew up serving had a purpose for your life and a plan for you. And when you came back from recovery and you were speaking life into me, I could not do anything but bless God right along with the rest of our family who didn't necessarily get to see everything I saw because we were there. But I saw it and I knew you were back. And that's when challenges came. Now tell the truth, when challenges came, I stood right with you.
Never left.
I went to battle with you the whole way. And see, it was more this addiction for her. In it, she lost her children. But the whole time she was in Florida praying that God would keep his hand on her children, I was up here with her kids. And when she came back, she did the program, she did the plan, and I was so proud of her. And then we thought that was just gonna be a smooth transition because Antoinette is back. She's back. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
And then the people who didn't believe fought her from full recovery. She had kicked the drugs, but her recovery wasn't just kicking the drugs. She had a family to recover. She had friends to recover. She had children who had to recover. There was her whole life out there that she had to recover. And I think her greatest battle was recovering from that more than the drugs. Because in that we saw people were not able to forgive. I was able to forgive her right away. Like, I love her, like, hey, God did it.
Amen.
But not the rest of our family, mainly the people who had her kids. So met you in court.
That's right.
Cheered you on.
That's right.
And fought valiantly against my family on her behalf. Today she has him back. Things are beautiful. Life is good. I'm so proud of her for this moment. Y'all probably won't see me much more because this is very uncomfortable.
But you'll hear about it.
But I would do anything for her, even sit in front of this camera and share how it was for us. It was hard, it was painful, but at the same time, beautiful. And I would say to the family, make sure in your toughness of your love is in Christ. In the fact that we don't tear them down or beat them up, but we do support them, and we refuse to accept anything less than the greatest for their life.
And I know that there's somebody out there. We've talked about a lot, but you've heard her say, that there was a time that I wasn't there when her mother passed, which was my grandmother. And I know that some of you are experiencing some times where there's been an event that's happened in your life that your addiction may have pulled you away from. And it's you've got that family member that's saying, why weren't you there? And for whatever reason, for me, that was the hardest time of my life. And I want to let you know, there was not a day, a moment that didn't go by that I didn't think about how I let you down. I thought about our past, good and bad, our struggles, being stuck in the ditch, being pulled out, the things that we had been through.
Don't forget the go-kart race.
Yes, the go-kart race, the grandmother that opened her heart to me, that was always there, and how we were, like you said, I don't have any sisters, guys. I'm a single child, and not just being my aunt, she is my sister. When I need her, she's there. A conversation, auntie, you got $20. She's there. And at this time, and for the longest, I blamed it on the addiction, and it was my selfishness that kept me from being there. Yeah, it was shame. It was a lot of shame. But even at the same time, I was going other places. I was doing other things. It was my selfishness that kept me from being there from the person that I love the most. And right now, I just want to ask you to forgive me.
And I have. And that's the thing, too, I would say to the family that I had to learn. Like, this addiction, the addictive spirit, it draws you away from life.
Yes.
Anything life, it pulls you away from. And the whole premise is to steal, it's to kill, and it's to destroy. It steals your dreams, it kills your hopes and aspirations, and it will destroy any vision that God is trying to give you.
Yes.
Because it opposes the Spirit of God. It opposes life.
Mm-hmm.
And when God started dealing with me about the opposition that she was really facing, it no longer was just a powder or a rock. It took on a whole new meaning. So it made my warfare against it different. I didn't get mad because of that item or that particular vice. I was angry with the spirit of the whole loss of the killing.
Yeah.
That this thing was trying to rape her and destroy her and to change everything God that had spoken over and even through her. I mean, because one of the things I love about me and this one right here is our spiritual journey started before we even knew we were on it.
Yeah.
We lived on a street that had 2 churches.
Right?
So we had double everything.
Right?
Summer was like, oh my God, we're going to lose 2 whole weeks
Yes.
in vacation Bible study. But do you see why God had to allow us to go through it? And I do believe that if you're in a person's life who's struggling with addictions now, or even if you're that person and you're watching and you have an addiction, that hopelessness is reversible.
Yes, it is.
Like, it's not a permanent condition.
Right.
And when you make the choice to just see what's on the other side of this hopelessness, you'll find that it's the same hope that were there even before this thing and you became connected.
Right.
Because I think at one point with Antoinette, she had gotten down so far that I knew that was the part she had forgotten. Like, we have hope.
Right.
Like, we come from a family of hope.
Right.
We love the Lord and
Amen.
The Lord loves us.
Amen.
And my thing to her is like, you know what? You gotta just mount up. You just gotta grab a hold of that. And if you've never had that, you can always cry out to God. It doesn't have to be in a formal setting like church. It could be in the privacy of wherever you are right now. You can cry out to Him. Trust that He hears you. But then make the choice to follow Him. Make the choice to hold on to Him beyond anything, because that's what she really had to do. He had to bring her back to when she first believed.
Yeah. So I just want to say to you guys, I know that in this journey of addiction and the road to recovery, that I pray anyway that you have
In the name.
this auntie, you have this mentor, You have this sister, you have this friend, this somebody that you can lean on. This walk is not easy, but when God puts people in your life that are willing to hold your hand through it, it makes it a whole lot easier. It makes it doable. It makes it doable.
Very doable.
So, if you like what you heard, hit the thumbs up button. If you want to hear more, subscribe and share in the comments.
Subscribe.
And remember, the journey is not always about where you're going, but sometimes how to get there, one day at a time. Thank you. Until next time. Amen.